What is going on, guys? It is your role model of the IWC Gamersgoon here today with your AEW Dynamite review for July 29th, 2020. Now, this show was a good show. Don't get me wrong. The way I'm going to talk about this show, you won't think that I thought it was a good show. The problem that I have with this show is it had all the components to be a great show. This show should have been great. And I really feel as if this show didn't get to that next level. I think it was a really good show, but I think some parts of the show fell a little bit flat, and that held them back from being a great show last night. We'll start off with the first match of the night, the Inner Circle versus the Jungle Friends. Obviously, that's Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt in their corner with the best friends, including Orange Cassidy. So we get to see the Inner Circle, Jericho and Orange Cassidy, sort of have more moments. To begin this, this match wasn't a good match. This match, if you're a wrestling fan, I don't see how you like this match. You could tell all the spots were coming. There was a lot of sitting, waiting around for spots to happen. There was a lot of just getting in position for people. You had Santana sitting there, getting into position, standing, ready for Trent to jump and do a suicide dive. He would go out of his way and just stand there for about 3 to 4 seconds, just waiting for it to happen. You could tell they're getting into spots. You could tell this is one of those matches that you could tell that wrestling is scripted, because it was just very, very oddly paced, where nobody was ready at the right time, and they just had to wait around for things to happen, and I was not a big fan of this match at all. But anyways, after all that sloppiness happens, we have the Jungle Friends going in for a hug, which Sammy tries to take advantage of from the top rope. They all move, and Sammy finds himself in a 5-on-1. This match was just a cluster, man. I mean, there's not much I can say else about that. It was just all over the place. It wasn't a good match by any standpoint. Then Jericho, towards the end, tries to introduce the Bat, Lucille, and he doesn't get to use it. He doesn't get to use it because Marco stops him there. And then we have, out of nowhere, Matt Hardy's music plays. Aubrey looks at the entrance, thinks somebody's gonna come down. Obviously, everybody knows what's gonna happen. Matt Hardy comes from the crowd, pushes Sammy Guevara off the top rope, and that leads to Sammy Guevara getting pinned by Luchasaurus, and after a chokeslam from Luchasaurus. So Matt Hardy had to come to the aid of the Jungle Friends here in this match. Like I said, very, very sloppy match. You could tell a lot of it was coming. You could tell that they're getting into spots or trying to do whatever. And it just did not feel like, first off, it didn't feel like an Inner Circle match. Jericho's somebody that I think is probably one of the best at getting into spots without, like, making it obvious. Sammy Guevara, same thing. Santana and Ortiz, same thing. Luchasaurus, same thing. Jungle Boy, same thing. Trent, same thing. They had everybody in this match to make this match perfect, and it just didn't work out. And I think it might be because of the 10-man situation here. I don't know if 10 men is too much for them to choreograph something that makes sense. And next week we will be having a 12-man match. So hopefully they figure it out by then. But as of last night, they did not figure it out. The multi-men tag team match just doesn't work. I wasn't a big fan. So let's move on. Next, we had the debut of Warhorse. I told you guys last night that AEW was gonna rule ass. I told you guys that last night Warhorse was gonna be trending. I told you guys that after Warhorse had his match against Cody, everybody's gonna be tweeting out hashtag sign Warhorse. And what happened? They might as well call me a prophet. Because Warhorse absolutely killed it in this match. What happens when people absolutely kill it and they're not signed? People tweet out, sign Warhorse. Now, I do want to say, this match could have went longer. It was about 10 to like 12 minutes here. A very respectable amount of time against Cody. I would have liked to see it go maybe 15 to 20. But I'm not going to complain about the time because what happened from bell to bell was really good between Warhorse and Cody. This was a very similar match to what he did with Sonny Kiss a few weeks ago, Cody, where he's disrespecting his opponent. He's underestimating the talent that his opponent has. He's not really taking it serious. And he's just, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy on little old Warhorse. And well, Warhorse made him pay for a little bit for underestimating him. And Warhorse came this close to winning a few times. There was a few times where it was like 2.8 seconds, or like a 2.8 count, where he was literally like Aubrey Edwards' hands was literally that close to hitting the mat for the 3. It was a really good match from Warhorse. I think a lot of people wanted to see Warhorse win. Obviously, there's a bigger amount of people that want to see Cody win because Cody has the bigger fan base. But I think a lot of people opened their eyes last night with Warhorse. I would recommend, if you haven't watched AEW, to go back and watch this match specifically just for Warhorse. Very solid guy. Just one of those guys that you really can't speak enough about him. If you really want to get the true essence of Warhorse, you have to go and watch the kid. It's something that's like, it's just special. I mean, he doesn't have the overwhelming grand entrance or grand character. He's just a heavy metal guy that wants to win wrestling matches. I mean, Warhorse is just that good that at the end of the day, he had a very good match with Cody. So, I mean, it's not new for Cody to have good matches. Obviously, he's had a lot of good matches, Sonny Kit, whatever. But I think Cody made Warhorse and look like a star, and Warhorse on his own was a star last night. After the match, we have the Dark Order coming out to attack both men after the fact. And that is until Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder in the WWE, comes out to aid both men. In the end of that segment, you see Zack Ryder and Cody holding each other's hands up in the air. Wow, I did not see that coming. I guess Matt Cardona is aligning himself with Cody. I'm not sure if that's official, but I will tell you that it is official that he is in AEW. They have released his merch. Matt Cardona is all elite. And Matt Cardona, he looks in the best shape I've ever seen him in. You just look at the guy and you can tell he's been putting in the work in the gym each and every day ever since the last time we've seen him. I think this guy has a big opportunity here. I think he might become the TNT champion eventually. This might be when he won the United States Championship, it was a great moment for his career. This run here in AEW might be his best run coming soon. I could easily see them putting the TNT title on Matt Cardona and having him run and make that title something special, because we all know Matt Cardona is really good. Now we get to see what he can do against not only just really good talent, but what he can do without limits, what he can do without a script, what he can do on the mic. We could see a lot of that come out of Matt Cardona. I'm really excited for it to happen here in AEW with Matt Cardona. So I think Cardona was a good sign. It'll be really interesting to see what goes on from them. Next, we had Jericho coming on out. The boy Jericho comes out once again. He cuts off Tony Schiavone. Schiavone was out there, and he was informing us about a pay-per-view that I believe is September 5th. I think it's Super Saturday or something. Something that included a Saturday in the name. I didn't get the name down because I was too busy listening to Jericho's music coming out. But Jericho, he comes out, interrupts Schiavone, doesn't let him finish what he had to say, and he comes out and he challenges Orange Cassidy to a match, not next week, but the week after, on August 12th, and then he also challenged Orange Cassidy to a debate next week. The debate might be very fun. Oh, by the way, if he loses the match, he owes Orange Cassidy owes Jericho $700 or $7,000 for the jacket. So next week will be very interesting. It's gonna be a lot of Jericho yelling at Cassidy, and Cassidy's probably just gonna shrug it off. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for part 2 of Jericho and Cassidy. I think it'll be really good. I think this might be the one that Cassidy wins. And a very good segment from Jericho there. Next, we have FTR signing their AEW contracts. They're in the room to sign their contracts. They said, hold on, wait a minute. We got to bring in our guy. They bring in Arn Anderson. So it looks as if Arn Anderson might be aligning himself with the FTR guys. And they said, hold on, does this contract include Tag Team Appreciation Night for, I believe it was August 12th? They said yes, just sign the contracts. They signed the contracts. Then Adam Hangman Page comes in, and he's ready to party. He brings in the cups, the shot glasses, and he says, you know what, let's pour some whiskey out for the boys. Everybody thought the whiskey was cheap and terrible, including Hangman. So I think we're starting to see what exactly the relationship of Hangman and FTR are going to go into. I think that eventually, I don't know if Cody will be involved or not since Arn's the manager, but I think eventually what we're going to see is sort of a reformed version of what the Four Horsemen were. But in AEW, we're going to see maybe FTR, Hangman, and maybe even Shawn Spears. You put Blanchard and Arn together, maybe. That might be something. Or maybe it's Cody. Maybe it's Cody and Hangman, because Cody is sort of starting to become a little bit more of a overlooking somebody. He might be turning into a heel soon. So maybe Hangman and Cody will join FTR with Arn. I think we might be seeing something along those lines come soon. I don't think it's going to happen prior to All Out. I think if it's going to happen, it might be at All Out or after All Out. But obviously, real good stuff there. Pairing FTR with Arn Anderson. I can see that being a really good partnership for both FTR and then Arn. So I like that. Next, we had the Dark Order versus Omega Page for the tag team titles. This was a really solid match for both teams. The one thing that was crazy to me is Evil kicked out of the V-Trigger. But then that set up the Buckshot into the V-Trigger combination. and that did not get kicked out by Evil Uno. Stu Grayson on the outside tried to pull the referee out of the ring before the 3 count, did not get to do that. So although it was a really good match, the Dark Order came up short. And I'm not going to lie to you, I thought the Dark Order was going to win this match after the FTR segment with Hangman and Arn. I thought maybe it was the night they pulled the V trigger, if you know what I mean. I thought we were on the path for maybe possibly a Dark Order title run. But after the match, we had Brody Lee upset at his guys at the Dark Order. Just mad and visibly angry with them. He walks Colt Cabana out of the arena, and then he throws some paper at Evil Uno, and then he goes up to Stu Grayson, starts choking him, and telling him how much of a failure he is, and then he turns around and he says, "Oh, Hangman, you think this is funny? You think this is funny, Hangman?" And then he says, "You know what? Thank you, Kenny Omega, for showing up this week for Hangman. I appreciate it." And then he says, "The Dark Order is everywhere. There's strength in numbers. Hangman, you're starting to piss me off." And then he has his goons come out. They're all around the ring. And FTR comes out from behind Brody Lee, hits him in the back of the head with the cooler, runs down, aids Omega and Hangman. And obviously the Young Bucks were in the crowd, so the Young Bucks came out to aid Omega and Hangman, so the Elite and FTR were standing together. So, and then Lee's just sitting there laughing as they're walking away, because Hangman is starting to piss him off, so we might be on a path where maybe Brody Lee and Hangman are going to have some sort of tension, maybe some sort of feud down the line. But really, really good stuff from the Dark Order. I think the Dark Order is a team that at the beginning, a lot of people did not like the Dark Order. They didn't get what the Dark Order meant. They didn't get it. They just really weren't big fans of them. I've been one to say I love the Dark Orders. I love their gimmick. I love Stu Grayson and Evil Uno both in the ring. I think they are really solid competitors. So even if you're still one of the people that don't get it, I really think you're missing out on the gimmick here, because the gimmick's a really solid gimmick. I really love the gimmick just because it's kind of like a cult kind of gimmick here, but it's just Brody Lee's just like mind manipulating everybody into thinking that the Dark Order is good, and it is for everybody inside of it, but not for everybody outside of it. So I really do like the Dark Order. And I really think they're getting around to the point where eventually one of the members in the Dark Order is going to hold a title, whether it's the tag title, whether it's Brody Lee holding the TNT title, or the AEW title. I think we're approaching a point in time, maybe at All Out, maybe even not exactly at All Out, maybe at a Revolution next year, something like that. But I do think within the next 365 days from today that somebody within the Dark Order will be holding a title. And I can't wait for that to happen. Next we had the role model, Britt Baker, having a promo on Big Swole, saying she knows that the suspension is not going to last forever. She's a dentist. She knows that. She knows that Swole is obsessed with her. But at the end of the day, Britt Baker is still a role model. Yes, we know Britt. And then she says she'll give Big Swole an opportunity to have a shot at her. However, she has to beat somebody of Britt Baker's choice. I think we're going to get a debut out of this. I think we're going to see somebody new come into AEW. I'm not going to say exactly who I think it is. But if you start thinking of the names on the free agent market in the women's division, you might get who I'm thinking. But I think we might be down that line where Britt Baker might be bringing in a certain individual to bring Big Swole into a very good match. Now, the problem with this is Britt Baker says she's returning it All Out, so that means there could very well be a match between Swole and Baker at All Out. So if it's the person I think it's going to be, then no, that's not going to happen. However, maybe it's somebody new, but not who I'm thinking. Then Big Swole could win that match. But if it's who I'm thinking it might be, she ain't winning that match. Next we have Diamante versus Hikaru Shida. This match protected Diamante. Some sort of like the same way as they did a Warhorse. Sheeta's sort of underestimating Diamante, not taking her serious. A lot of the story was just putting a lot of effort into making it not have much for Diamante to lose here. It made it, the story they were going by is Diamante had nothing to lose but everything to gain. Very similar story to what they've been running with Cody, with Warhorse and a Kiss. It's just a story that works. And then it led to Hikaru Shida doing the same thing Cody has to do in his matches. When he underestimates somebody, he has to turn up the aggression towards the end to ensure that he wins, and then Hikaru Shida had to do that in order to ensure that she won her match against Diamante. Diamante, she would have won this, would have shot up to the number 1 contender spot, but Diamante did not win this, and Hikaru Shida walks out victorious of this match. So I think Diamante is somebody that AEW is really, really, really looking into in terms of signing. Because as of right now, I don't believe she is signed. They say she's an unsigned talent, but she's been on Dark a lot. So they might have signed her and just playing that off a story. But Diamante, really solid. I think she has a lot of potential. I don't think she's there yet. But I think she could be really good. I don't know where I want to talk about this, because I don't even know if I wrote it down. I did not write it down. It might have been after this, but I don't remember exactly when it was, because I didn't take notes on it. Mostly because it was really weird. We had Vicky Guerrero in the back with Nyla Rose, being interviewed, and Nyla Rose draws the purple. We know that the women's tag team tournament, they're just going to be pairing people randomly by the color they draw. Nyla draws purple. Then Dasha says, "Oh, we've already had somebody pull purple." And then Nyla asked who it was, and out of nowhere comes Ariane, a.k.a. Cameron, from the WWE, back with the Funkadactyls with Naomi. So you know how long that was ago. Back when Brodus Clay was there. It was that long ago. But she's going to be joining Nyla. And the last time we saw Cameron or Ariane or whoever you want to call in ring, it wasn't the best performance. She's not the best women's wrestler. But I really hope, through however many years we haven't seen her, that she's done training, she's gotten in some work where maybe she'll be able to have a good match. This might be a situation where Nyla's gonna have to carry the match. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly why Ariane is taking a spot though in this match specifically. So maybe a Priscilla Kelly would have been better. Maybe, I don't know, but it just felt really, really awkward to have Ariane come. So there's your second former WWE wrestler debuting on Dynamite last night. So I'm not a big fan of it. Next, we had MJF cut a promo, and Mr. MJF, Mr. Friedman, cut the promo, not of the night, not of the month, not of the week, not any of that, of the year 2020. This was the best promo of the year, and I actually want to play a clip for you. MJF, he came out and he cut his promo about they need a better AEW. Hashtag MJF 2020. Hashtag not my champion. He wants to be the face of the brand, the face that runs the place. Let's go into my bookmarks here real quick.
My talent outweighs your tenure, John. I am AEW. I bleed black, white, and gold. I'm the guy who's going to be leading this company for the next 25 years. Top.
Absolutely brilliant. There's a lot more to the promo. I don't have the whole promo saved. I don't want to sit here and just play the whole promo for you. If you want to go watch the promo again, or if you haven't watched the show, please go on YouTube, whatever, because MJF cut the promo of a lifetime on this show. He's basically just coming out here declaring his candidacy for the championship at All Out against Jon Moxley. He comes out, tells how he is going to be the face of the brand for the next 25 years. He's just sitting out there exuding passion. At one point, I thought he was going to cry with how much passion he was showing in his promo. Because he's sitting there and he's like yelling about how like he deserves this. And it was absolutely brilliant. MJF, big round of applause. Greatest promo of 2020 by far. If you haven't watched it, I do recommend you go back and watch it, because that was absolutely brilliant from him. Now, as for the match at All Out, Moxley versus MJF, that promo made me excited for the match. I can't wait to see Moxley and MJF. And at the end of the night, I can tell you one thing. We're going to be having a new AEW World Champion. I'll tell you one thing. The night of All Out, I'm going to sit on my couch. I'm going to grab my scarf. I'm going to put it around. Put my sunglasses on. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to watch MJF become your AEW World Champion. I can't wait for that moment to happen. I think it'll be really fun. MJF, great heel. I think we all know MJF's a great heel. And I can't wait for him to brag about holding that title for the rest of the year. It'll be really good. And the best part is, a lot of people are just going to hate it. A lot of people are going to be sitting at home. And since we can't be there in person to boo them and cuss them out or whatever, there's going to be a lot of internet drama around MJF. And MJF, we all know he doesn't like to sit there around. He'll clap back. So it'll be real fun if MJF wins at All Out. Next, we have Moxley and Darby versus Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. Cage and Starks come out here. They cut a promo before, nothing major outside of the fact that they said Darby wasn't going to be there. Then Darby showed up during their entrance. And even the odds between him and Moxley, a lot of this match wasn't great. I mean, it was a normal tag team match from two teams that really, the pair together tag team matches aren't the things I'm into, so I wasn't a huge fan. But Darby, at the end, grabs his skateboard from under, it's a tornado tag, so he grabs his skateboard from under the ring with thumbtacks on it, on the bottom. He goes to the top rope, like we've seen him do before, and skates into the back of Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks has the thumbtack shoved in his back as Darby Allin pins him for the win. And Ricky Starks, he was bleeding bad. Like, I've never seen thumbtacks make anybody bleed that bad. The blood was, like, coming out still with the thumbtacks shoved in there. Usually it's just, like pricks and stuff that just, like, a little blood spot here, a little blood spot here, like Cody's was. But his was like if he bladed and it was just dripping off his back. It was really bad. So that gave them the win. It was a very short match. It didn't last very long. Not anything that I've really got that much into. And then it finished with them coming off the air saying, it's been confirmed by TK, Tony Khan, that next week we are going to have Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. So that'll be an interesting match next week. But as for this week, whatever happened between these four was not anything that I was too invested in. So at the end of the night, AEW was a good show, like I said. It had all the components to be a great show. I just don't think it ever hit that level. And I think a lot of that had to do at the beginning. Inner Circle and Jungle Friends, they really had all the components in that match to make it great. But at the end of the night, that match was the worst one on the card. And I don't know if that is what's holding me back from saying it was a great show, or maybe it was the Moxley stuff, that it was good, but it just fell off. Something fell off with both the closing and the ends of this show. The MJF stuff, really good. Diamante, I think, looked really good. Britt Baker, you know how much I'm going to praise Britt Baker. She's my favorite. Next, we had the Dark Order. Really good match. Really good match. I thought they would win. FTR stuff, really good. Jericho stuff with Orange Cassidy's challenging him. Really good. Warhorse, really good. They had really good stuff on this show. And I think the thing that's holding me back from saying it was a great show was the beginning and the end of the show. So that's just unfortunate. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. So if you guys haven't followed me on YouTube, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. Make sure that you are ringing that post notification bell so that you will be in tune for any time that I talk AEW and or WWE. Like I said, on Monday night, we will be making the return of the Raw Review weekly, and we're also adding the AEW Review weekly, so you can expect this next Thursday as well, along as the Monday Night Raw reviews on Monday. Then obviously the pay-per-view reviews and stuff, but we are not doing SmackDown and we are not doing NXT here on the channel. If you guys want to keep up with me on social media, you can go to GamersGoon YT on Twitter and The Goon Gamer. I think it's The Goon Gamer on Instagram. A link will be in the description if it is not. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.